You spoke about support for the Palestinian people, for example, reaffirming support for the Palestinian people. You're doing business with China. Does that mean you can't criticize them when it comes to what they're doing to the Uyghurs and putting possibly 1 million Uyghur Muslims in re-education camps that look like concentration camps?
I do not know the exact situation of this. Frankly, I just have to tell you the truth.
And there's this. Right across the region, mosques are being destroyed. Over the past 2 years in cities, towns and villages, dozens of religious sites once clearly visible on satellite images have been turned into patches of bare earth.
I do not know the exact situation of this. Frankly, I just have to tell you the truth. To be honest, I actually don't know much about the situation, but I can tell you one thing. The Chinese have been, what can I say, in this doom and gloom which we inherited, the Chinese have been a breath of fresh air for us.
Recent footage taken by an Albanian historian on a government-organised tour of these camps show Uyghurs renouncing their faith in Mandarin.
Are you Uyghur?
你是维吾尔族吗？
是的，维吾尔族。Are you a Muslim?
那你是穆斯林吗
You are not a Muslim?
No.
What religion do you have?
那你信仰什么宗教呢？
我信仰的是马列主义。
The fresh air for us. They have been helpful to us in areas which I can't tell because some of the areas they want us to keep confidential. The Chinese government, every culture has its own way of working, but they work in a very confidential way. They do not like to bring things out in the public.
This is almost certainly over northern China, over Xinjiang. Can you tell us what is happening here?
I cannot see, this video. This is not the first time you show me. I still remember last year you showed me what is happening in Xinjiang.
In Xinjiang,
but,
exactly.
But let me tell you this. Xinjiang, have you been to Xinjiang yourself?
No, I never have.
You know, Xinjiang is regarded as the most beautiful place in Xinjiang. There's a Chinese saying, you do not know how big China is.
Ambassador, that is not beautiful coverage, however, is it? Can I ask you why people are kneeling, blindfolded and shaven and being led to trains in modern China? Why? What is going on there?
I do not know where you get this videotape.
But they work in a very confidential way. They do not like to bring things out in the public.
If it's going on, would you criticize it? If it can be proved to you that it's going on?
If it is, I would deal with it in a different way with the Chinese. I would approach them and speak to them confidentially. I would never talk about it in public because that's how they are.
Okay. What's your stance on China's treatment of Uyghur Muslims?
Frankly, I don't know much about that.
Responsibility! The Prophet of Allah, when he spoke about the Ummah, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, when he gave the analogy of the Ummah, what analogy did he give? He says the analogy, the example of my Ummah is like that of one body. This Ummah is one body. He says when a part of it hurts, the whole body feels the pain. When a part of the body hurts, he says the whole body stays up the night in sleeplessness, in fever. Why? In fighting off the pain, in fighting off the infection. Today, do you feel like we are one body? Today, are we honestly, genuinely concerned about what's happening around the world? Do you honestly deem yourself to be a part of the body and to be responsible?
Frankly, I don't know much about that.
Turkey has said it was a great shame on humanity, and you have also spoken up in defense of Muslims around the world.
It's true. Muslim world is probably going through its worst phase right now.
But you won't speak out against what's happening in China?
If I had enough knowledge, I would speak about it.
Pakistan! Ya juyush al-Pakistan! Hayya li hukm al-Quran! Hayya li hukm al-Quran! Ya ummat al-Malayin! هذا معراج رسول الله يستصرخكم، مسجد الأقصى يستنصركم.